Pilots affiliated with the South African Airways Pilots Association and the National Transport Movement Pilots Forum have downed tools over a wage dispute. Let's get the latest from SABC News economics reporter Katlego Legodi as he joins us live now. Thanks very much, Katlego, for joining us. Of course, this could not happen at a worse time for an airline, given that this is the tourism season.
Yeah, a very good afternoon to you, Nompu, and to our viewers at home. You're right. I mean, this is the peak season where you see that there will be a lot of traffic expected here at the airport. And this is where then we see a lot of people then expecting to travel in and out of Johannesburg. And most of those operations would be affected. We are told that local airlines, international airlines, regional airlines as well affected by this strike action as we speak right now. But most of these workers here just looking to the company to come back to the negotiating tables. Remember, it was just towards the end of last month, Nompu, when we saw the company SAA reporting a 252 million rand in profits here. But these workers are saying that their challenges drag all the way back to the business rescue process that we saw just taking shape here at the company. Most of them saying that around that time, they saw about 50% of their salary cut. Remember that there were also those that were retrenched and lost their jobs here. So most of them saying that they're trying to get back into really the fold and trying by all means to plead with the employer to come back to the table as we speak right now. So what we're speaking at is that figure of 15%, but you saw that they started at 30%. Maybe let me bring them in, the captains, and just get a sense of why they started there at 30% and how then this hike would really come through for them as we go into the festive season as well. I'm going to bring Captain Graham Bose with us into the conversation this afternoon. You were supposed to be on duty, Captain, but you're not. You're out here in the streets, not in the air. And we see you guys as workers saying that this then becomes the last resort, looking at where you come from with the employer. Maybe give us a sense of how we find ourselves here. You workers are not on duty.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've been brought here by the company to this point. It's not by design that we are trying to hold the company to ransom at the peak season of travel and to affect so many of our customers. The company hasn't been negotiating or actively negotiating enough with us. Since April of 2024 up to this point, we've only had 4 and a bit days of active negotiations, and this unfortunately is where we stand now, where the only way of our voice being heard is by withdrawing labor.
What does this mean then for operations according to you? Because you guys are supposed to be on duty and we know very well that even from last night the flights were supposed to be there on the board in terms of coming in and out of Johannesburg or Tambo, but that does not seem to be the case as we go into the afternoon. What does this mean for operations according to you?
Look, it's unfortunate that we've got to this point. We didn't want to withhold our labor, and the knock-on effect for our customers is detrimental to the business, to our jobs as well. But it is, once again, it is not from a lack of trying from the pilot body, from across the entire pilot body. We have tried to speak to the company. We have tried to ventilate our issues, but we unfortunately were not heard.
Captain Bose, let me leave it here with you. I'm going to bring Captain Lerato into the conversation with us as well, just to give us a sense of the impact of this strike action. We see the placards out here saying that they're talking about issues of safety. You're saying you're tired. You're saying that you should be prioritized as the workers. Maybe give us a sense of what has been happening here. What have you guys been going through as the workers?
Thank you for the opportunity and good afternoon to the viewers. What we are at pains to share is that it's not that we are not willing to work harder. It's just that the rostering that we are subjected to is so inefficient that, for instance, we have pairings where it takes you out of the roster for 2 days, but you only fly 2 hours. That's highly inefficient. You get no sleep over that period, and when you are at pains to express that this is an incredibly fatiguing pairing and it's not optimum use of the assets that you have, it falls on deaf ears. So we're just trying to get better rostering, a more stable roster, work us a little harder, work us a little more efficiently, but allow us to spend time with our families. As you see these boards up here, as we say, family first.
Narato, thank you very much for giving us your time. Captain Narato, one of those that are demonstrating here, and you can see behind us, these are really workers of SAA that have since downed tools, and most of them just looking to the employer. We're hoping to speak to the employer, Nompu, this afternoon to give us a sense of what is happening here, and if they are indeed looking to get back to the negotiating table, and we'll see if indeed then operations have also been affected, as we hear that the company has been chartering other airlines to try and close the gap. It's back to you in studio for now, Nompu.
All right, thanks very much, my colleague there, Katlego.